Hello again, YouTube. As I promised, here is my video on the ego and how it affects your life and your happiness and your weight and your body. It's something that I have not been working too in depth with yet, and some parts of it are hard for me to understand. So I thought by sharing it with you guys, that maybe we could help each other understand. Maybe you could ask me questions, I could ask you questions, and we could kind of help each other on this one. The thing is that we all have an ego, and our ego has multiple faces, but we also have a soul, and the job of the ego is to protect our soul. Our ego likes comfortness. Our ego likes safety. It doesn't like change. So our ego is always going to strive to kind of stay at status quo, stick to the status quo. So if we try to make any changes in our lives, our ego is going to try to prevent us from doing so because it gets scared or it feels ashamed or whatever it does. So I've been working with different situations in my life where I feel that my ego is keeping me from making progress. And one of these areas is, of course, health. And I have like 3 bullet points in that category. One is quitting smoking. I had 1 cigarette last weekend. Crap. The other one is being overweight and dealing with that. And the last one is actually sleep. I'm a really bad sleeper. I go to bed too late. It feels like I don't get into this deep sleep. And I cannot explain to you why I don't go to bed early. I mean, I just don't. And although I say I want to, I always end up either going to bed late, and if I go to bed early, I'm not able to sleep because I'm not used to it, so it's all a big blah. So I've been working with health as my issue with my ego. And the first part of the exercise was trying to imagine what your ego looks like. And I did that through breathing exercises, taking deep breaths, and asking myself questions. So my ego in my head actually looks like a big crying Michelin baby, and it just keeps on crying, and it's very, very sad. What my ego wants is to be comforted, because the reason why my ego is so sad is that nothing that my soul wants ever gets carried out. But at the same time, my ego is very scared of the things that my soul wants. My ego has very good intentions. It's just too scared to allow me to carry it out. It is used to being sad. It is used to being powerless. It's almost as if it is scared of being happy. Yeah. Sorry, I just needed a small thinking break because what I had written on my notepad here all of a sudden didn't make sense to me. But it does now, so we're back on track. I actually wrote down what I think that my ego is on a quest for. As I tried to explain before, it wants to be comforted. It wants to carry something out in relation to health, whether it's quitting smoking, losing weight, getting a good night's sleep. It's also afraid of missing out on something social, or at least that's what it tells me or I tell myself. depending on how you look at it. Like when I don't know if it's a Danish thing, but especially here in Denmark, if you're having fun with friends, having fun with family or whatever, there's always food involved. And because this is a special occasion that we're together, the food is often full of sugar and fat. Also, I have used smoking as a way to relax. I've used smoking as a way of, it's gonna sound weird, but spending intimate time with friends. Smoking was always where my friends and I told each other the deepest secrets. You know, we went out smoke. There were not that many of us in that small smokers group. So it became some kind of social thing that I used as a means to creating relationships with people, I guess. And for sleep, I just have no clue. I have no clue what my excuse for not getting enough sleep is. It's, you know, why don't I just go to bed? I mean, don't I deserve sleep? Sure. I deserve it. I work hard. So it's not that I think that I don't deserve it. It's more, I'd rather watch TV for 1 more hour, or I'd rather get this done before I sleep, or maybe it's more not prioritizing myself and my sleep enough. I don't know. I'm confused about that. So all in all, my ego is afraid of missing out on something social, I think, especially as relates to health. And it is so scared of missing out on something social that it doesn't care that it is on behalf of my health. So that's kind of interesting. But on the other hand, the social part, it doesn't go all the way, because before I quit smoking, I also used to smoke when I was alone. I would also eat candy alone. I would also not get any sleep, although I was just me and no one was here. So yeah, it's kind of confusing that the things I actually think are the reasons, they're not like exactly valid in real life anyways. As regards food, what my ego is trying to protect me from is interesting, because I remember the first time I actually consciously knew that I was overweight was around the 4th grade, where I went to the doctor. In school, we had to go to the doctor once a year. There was like a school nurse, and they weighed us and did the eyesight test and whatever. And there she told me I was way too fat and that I had to go on a diet, and I had a note that I had to take home to my parents, and they took me to the family doctor, and then the whole family went on a diet. And it was my mom telling me I was fat, it was my doctor telling me I was fat, and if I went to someone's birthday, for example, my mom would pack me the food I was allowed to eat and call the parent of that child and say, you know, Jacqueline is only allowed to eat what she brings, you're not allowed to feed her anything because she's on a diet. And I think that has had an immense effect on my ego, because all of a sudden I wasn't in that, you know, I wasn't allowed to have what the others were having, and the other kids thought that was really weird. So that was kind of tough, and it made it socially difficult, because had someone not told me that I was overweight, I don't think I would have ever realized it at that early stage. Like I appreciate my mom trying to help me, because no matter how you twist and turn it, it is not fun being the fat kid. But on the other hand, it is less fun being taken out of social relations due to food. And my ego doesn't like that. So what it's trying to protect me from actually is not living up to other people's expectations of how my body is supposed to look like. I don't know if that makes any sense, but also the way I am now, had I not been influenced by other people, TV, media, whatever, I don't think I would have a problem with myself. I think the major problem comes from outside, and comparing myself to others and thinking, okay, I don't live up to that ideal or that expectation of being a certain way, of looking a certain way. And what I think I need to learn from that, and what I think I need to give my ego from that, is accepting the way that I am and telling myself, okay, you're not the skinniest person in the world. You're trying your very best to eat healthy stuff. You don't always feel like you want to eat healthy stuff. That's okay. But as long as you do your very best to lead a healthy lifestyle, quitting smoking, buying good foods, you're fine and you look exactly the way you're supposed to look. Now my problem is, how on earth do I do that in reality? How on earth do I accept myself the way I look today? I don't know. I don't know how to do that. That's really difficult. Practically, how do you do that? What do I tell myself? What do I do? I don't know. So if anyone has any suggestions on that, please let me know. As regards smoking, I think I started smoking because I wanted to be one of the cool kids. And it helped me a long way. Smoking helped me a long way because no one ever expected me to do that. And I was I'm not gonna say nice because it wasn't nice, but I was like the clever kid and a little bit fat still, and not that popular and stuff. So I think I started smoking because I didn't want to be the geeky one. I wanted to be one of the cool kids. And I guess that is longing for other people to accept you and really needing that accept from other people. But the reason I want to quit, or the reason I actually quit smoking, is because I like the freedom of not smoking. I don't like what smoking does to my brain. I don't like being addicted, being on a plane for let's say 5 hours, and 2.5 hours in you're annoyed and you're shaking because you don't have your nicotine with you, and that's just, I don't like that. By not sleeping, I have no clue what my ego is trying to protect me from. That's just weird. I don't know what I'm scared of. It's not that I'm scared of going to sleep, it's just that I've always been bad at it. Always, as long back as I can remember, it's always been a problem. It takes me forever to fall asleep. I don't go into this deep sleep. And I hate waking up in the morning, which is a vicious circle, and that's very natural. But I don't know why, and I don't know what my ego is trying to tell me. But changing stuff and trying to accept yourself, looking for freedom, the ego doesn't like that. And what my ego tells me is that you cannot possibly accept yourself the way you are, because if you do that, you're probably just gonna eat a lot of candy and a lot of fatty foods, fast food, and become even fatter. So that is why you need me to keep you down. And it's also like it's also telling me, okay, if you go on a diet, that's not gonna work either, because then socially, if you're at a party, you're not allowed to have the cake or the soda or whatever. And my ego also tells me that if I go on a diet and quit smoking and go to bed early and take care of my job, clean the house, all those things you are supposed to do as an adult, my ego is simply telling me that I'm the most boring person on earth by having some candy and smoking. I'm a little bit bad. I'm not the good girl. I'm just a little bit bad, and no one gets hurt from me smoking or eating cake. Yeah. So my ego likes to be a little bit bad, and it tells me that I'm a big geek for doing the right thing. So I guess I'm kind of scared of being ordinary, and I'm scared of not feeling adrenaline, scared of not feeling happiness, excitement, all of those things. Then I had to, oh, this is getting long, I'm sorry. Then I had to write down what other people would tell me. Oh, no, what I would tell other people if they told me how they felt and they felt like I do now. So, and I had to choose the ones I wanted to listen to, so I'm just going to read that out loud. So what I wanted to tell others and what I want to tell myself is you need to accept that you are absolutely amazing the way you are. You're not boring at all. You're actually a lot of fun to be with, no matter what you eat or if you smoke or not. And the last one is, it's the people closest to you that matter, and they think you're amazing. How do you make that into something practical? How do I work with that in practical life? I don't know what to call it. Well, I can identify my ego when I feel it. I can do my baby breathing, listen to my body. I don't know what to practically do about it. Please help me if you have any ideas how I can enforce accepting the way I am, how I can enforce actively in my life that I need to listen to my body. Please let me know, because I simply don't know, and this is where in the exercise that I just kind of stopped, and there are like a page and a half more of exercise questions, but I cannot answer them because it's not practical enough for me. So if you have any way that I can do this practically, please let me know. So that was the ego exercise. I hope you learned something. I sure did, but I'm still confused as to what to do with it. So let me know what you think. Mail me, message me, write me on Facebook, whatever you feel like. That's all for now. Have a great weekend. I will talk to you soon. Bye.